Hello children, welcome back to your science class. Children, already in the month of April, I have posted few videos of your academics, right? So, let us have a quick review of one after the other lessons. Now, today we are going to see once again about synthetic fibers and plastics. Children, first let me know what is meant by fiber. I have already told you, but now let us have a glance at it. Fiber. Fiber is a thin hair-like strand which is put together to make fabric. What is meant by fabric? The cloth which we are wearing, the different types of clothes which we are wearing, all those are made from fabrics. Those fabrics are made from fibers. So, basically, we have two types of fibers. One is natural fibers and the other one is synthetic fibers. What are the natural fibers? Cotton, jute, silk. That means the fibers which we obtain from nature. That means from plants as well as animals can be termed as natural fibers. And the other type of fibers are synthetic fibers. What are synthetic fibers? The fibers which we do not get from nature are called synthetic fibers. That means from where do we get them then? We are not getting them from the nature. That means we are making which are not readily available in nature. We are extracting. That means man-made fibers are called as synthetic fibers. Next, what are the synthetic fibers do we have? We have rayon, nylon, polyester, acrylic. All these are synthetic fibers. So, what are these synthetic fibers basically made up of? Synthetic fibers are the arrangement of different polymers. Here, polymer. Polymer means, first let us know the meaning of the word. Poly means many, mers means units. Okay children? Children, did you observe? Today I wore a beads necklace. Okay? Here in this beads necklace, all the little beads are arranged together. Right? In order to make a chain. So, I can say each single bead as a polymer. Fine children? Hope you understand. These single polymers, that is the single beads are put together, joined together to form a chain. In the same way, polymers are the single units put together and will make the fibers. Fine children? As we all are making, that means as man himself is making these fibers, they are called as synthetic fibers. They can also be called as artificial fibers. Fine children? Next, polyester and children, one more thing here. Synthetic fibers, I told you different types of synthetic fibers, right? One of them is rayon. First synthetic fiber is the rayon. Do you know the story of rayon? Rayon is also called as artificial silk. Okay children, earlier in the world for the first time, China has introduced the silk fiber. Fine children, China has introduced the silk fiber. Silk is obtained from silkworms. Okay, by processing of cocoons, we get silk from the silkworms. Now, as the silk is very costly and a common person cannot afford silk, they thought of getting some other replica of silk. Hence, as a result, the rayon has been invented. That means rayon resembles the silk, but it is not silk. Rayon, it is extracted from wood pulp. Fine children? The pulp of wood is chemically processed in the factories or industries and rayon fabric is extracted. So, this rayon fiber or the cloth made of rayon fibers will resemble silk. They appear to be silk, their texture and they are available in variety of colors. The color, the texture and the coziness resemble silk, but they are not silk. Fine children? Next comes the nylon. Nylon is the fully man-made synthetic fiber. Okay children? This nylon is extracted from coal, water and air by chemical treatment of petrochemicals or from the by chemical processing of the coal, water and air in industries. They extract nylon. Nylon is very durable, less cheaper when compared to natural fibers. nylon is elastic in nature, nylon is very stronger than steel wire, nylon is very durable, it dries up quickly, it doesn't absorb a lot of water, no need of more water to wash the nylon cloth, it does not get wrinkled easily, that means it's a wrinkle free cloth. There is no need of repeatedly ironing the fabric again and again after each wash. Okay children, most of the nylon fibers are used in making socks, tents, ropes, parachutes, bags, and mainly the people who are going for a rock climbing, they'll carry nylon ropes because these ropes are stronger than the steel wire. Okay, due to heavy tension and pressure, the steel wire may break at a particular point, but the nylon fiber will not break. It has more and more strength and stronger. Next, coming to polyester. Polyester means, as I told you, poly means many. Many esters are the chemical substances. Many ester units are put together and polyester is made. Polyester is the fiber, is the artificial fiber, which is also most widely used. Polyester also have all the characteristics of synthetic fibers, that means similar to nylon. It also does not get wrinkled easily, it is also strong, it is also more durable, it does not absorb stains more, and it is also easy to maintain. In the same way, the main forms of polyester are terylene, PET, all these are commonly used forms of polyesters. And polyester fiber is also mixed with cotton, and we can get polycot out of the mixture of polyester and cotton. In the same way, polyester is mixed with wool and we get polywool as a result. Next, terylene. Terylene is also a famous polyester which is most commonly or widely used in manufacturing t-shirts and different materials like curtains and. Next is the PET. PET is also a polyester fiber. This is used in making water bottles. Okay children, PET is the most safe material to store food and water. That means it is food grade polyester. These polyester fibers are also very thin and they are also easily moldable in order to weave like natural fibers. Next, characteristics of synthetic fibers. As I told you, synthetic fibers, all the synthetic fibers mostly have the same characteristics. They are less in cost, they are strong in durability, they are more comes the acrylic. Children, acrylic is a artificial fiber which resembles wool. Okay children, don't get confused. Rayon resembles silk. Acrylic resembles wool. Okay, acrylic is a artificial fiber which is a replica of wool. That means acrylic fibers resembles wool. That means sweaters, blankets, many soft toys are manufactured with using acrylic. Okay children, because of the cost of wool is very high because it's a natural fiber, so it is very expensive. In order to use a replica of wool, acrylic has been invented. Fine children, next coming to plastics. Plastics are the another type of, we can also called as plastic is also a polymer. Okay children, here one more thing, in case of polymers have arrangement. Example, I told you the beads in a chain. The arrangement of polymer will be like that. Polymers can also be arranged in two different ways. Polymers can be in two ways. Linear link and cross link. Polymers can be either linear link or cross linked. So, plastic polymer will have both type of structures. Plastic polymers can be arranged in linear structure as well as they can also be arranged in cross-linked structures. Okay, that is the reason plastics are more available in most of the forms and colors. As they are easily moldable because of their polymer arrangement, they can be easily available in various shapes and various sizes. Fine children. Next, plastics are basically of two types. Thus all the, as I told you, plastics are moldable in order to make them in different shapes and sizes, right? So can all the plastics be molded? No. Only few types of plastics can be molded easily and they can be brought into different shapes and sizes. That is, plastics are again of two types. One is thermoplastics and the other one is thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastics are plastics which can be molded easily on heating. Thermoplastics can be molded easily on heating. The plastics which cannot be deformed, that means the plastics which cannot be molded on heating can be called as thermosetting plastics. Thermosetting plastic material, when you try to heat it and mold it, there is a chance of breaking. It may break, but it doesn't get deformed. It will not change its shape. That means it cannot be molded. So, PVC and polythene are the examples of thermoplastics. Melamine and bakelite are the examples of thermosetting plastics. Okay children, where this PVC is used? PVC is mostly seen in the usage of water pipes, as well as there are some toys, some utensils, they can also be made from PVC material, PVC plastics. Next, polythene is mostly used for making shopping bags. Fine children. Next, coming to thermosetting plastics, melamine, bakelite. Melamine plastics are used in preparing electrical switches, wires, as a coating on the copper wires, and they can also be used in the manufacture of some special utensils. Next, bakelite is used in making of kitchenware because bakelite plastic can resist very high temperatures of heat. So, they can be used for making kitchen utensils. Next comes the Teflon. Teflon is a special plastic. This plastic is used for non-stick pan coatings. Okay, Teflon plastic with oil and water cannot stick on Teflon. So, this plastic can be used as a coating on non-stick cookware. Usually we will be listening in the ads that the so and so cookware is coated with Teflon plus Teflon and your food items will not get burnt, right? So, Teflon is a plastic which is used for coating non-stick cookware in the kitchens. Next, two types of materials, biodegradable materials and non-biodegradable materials. The materials which can be decomposed in nature by the action of bacteria can be called as biodegradable materials. And non-biodegradable means opposite to biodegradable. The materials which cannot be decomposed easily by the action of bacteria can be termed as non-biodegradable material. Remember, any material can be decomposed in the nature, but non-biodegradable material, of course it can also be decomposed in nature, but it will take several years to get decomposed, which can cause n number of environmental issues. Fine children? And plastics comes under non-biodegradable materials because plastics cannot be decomposed easily in nature by the action of bacteria. So it is better if we avoid usage of plastics. Usually plastics in our daily life play a major important role. For schools, you will be carrying water bottles and lunch boxes made of plastics, right? Instead of those things, carry a steel bottle and a steel lunch box in the place of plastic. Because even though if you burn plastic in order to decompose it, poisonous and toxic fumes will be evolved from the burning process. But it does not decompose completely. Plastic burns and melts and it is formed into a burning. Plastics gets melted up, it releases toxic fumes and it takes a solid form. Okay, which is very dangerous for the environment and the animals and the people living in the environment. Next, to avoid plastic, to avoid the damaging of environment, we need to follow 4R principle. What is the 4R principle? Reduce, reuse, recycle and recover. Children, hope you all will follow this 4R principle and hope you all understood today's class. So, if you have any doubts regarding any topic, firstly go through the lesson in the textbook well. If you find any doubt, just mark it with a pencil, round it up with a pencil and let me know the doubt. I will reply it again by clearing your doubt. And after this video, children, I will be posting, you all have workbooks. So, we all have workbooks, right? After this video, I will post you some pictures of the workbook which I have already solved. There are n number of questions in your workbook after each and every lesson, children. So, for this lesson, question answers I have solved already and I will post you the same pictures. See the photos and complete your workbooks. If you don't understand any of the word or sentence in the workbook picture, just underline it and post me back the same thing so that I will again clarify the word or sentence and I will repost it back to you again. Thank you. Have a good day.